Welcome back, everyone. What you are seeing here is a package from Aiyima. They were kind enough to send me something to review. No strings attached, just let them know what I thought. So, I thought I would unbox it and explain a little bit about what I'm planning on doing in terms of the comparisons. So let's get this guy open here, and we'll probably just... And what do we have here in this lovely box? This is specifically the Aiyima A80. It is a DAC amplifier. So it's got a DAC built in, an amplifier, Bluetooth receiver. It's basically an all-in-one box to do everything except actually sourcing your music. So you could hook up your phone to it, your computer, whatever you want, set it on your desk, use it as the main center for your system. Coming from Aiyima, it generally has very good value for the money. Aiyima's gear generally is not expensive, which means it's accessible for a wide range of people. And I actually do have some Aiyima gear myself that I purchased a couple of years back, and I'll review that in a second in terms of the comparisons, but let's get this box open here. You'll see that we have multiple chunks in here inside the main box. We've got a separate box with just the amplifier in it. Let's just set this here aside for a moment. Open this guy up. And in here we have packing on top. We have a Toslink cable for doing optical connection of a DAC. So if you're not using Toslink, if you are using SPITA, for example, you'd have to provide your own cable. A little registration form in both English and Chinese, it appears. A manual. There is a remote control. It's plastic and feels very lightweight, but given the cost, that's understandable. There also is in here a USB-A to USB-C connector, so this would be useful for hooking up your computer. Not your phone, however, although actually maybe you can. Oh, look at that. It has one of these lovely connectors where you have USB-C and USB-A together. So you could use this for your computer or for your phone, assuming it does have a USB-C adapter. Some of the earlier Apples would not do with that. And of course we have inside this bag the actual device. And looking at the front, it has this lovely little plastic, which I'm not going to take off for the moment. And I believe this actually has various displays in the front, like view meters and such. So that could be a whole lot of fun. The volume knob, of course, and you're going to have all sorts of menus and on and off. And it can always be fun trying to figure out how to use one knob to do everything, but we'll see how well that works in my testing. And you'll see that it is a fingerprint magnet. Just holding it for that little bit, lots of stuff on it, but hey, what do you expect? And as it's evaporating, the moisture on my fingers seems to be going away not too badly. So what have we got in the back? Well, here we have a jack for the antenna for Bluetooth. We have two inputs here that are marked TRS, and for those of you who've never used a TRS input, it is basically a balanced input, but instead of using XLRs, you use a tip ring sleeve connector. It basically looks like a 1/4-inch headphone connector, but it is a balanced connector. So it lets you get more stuff on the back without needing large XLR connectors in the back. So an interesting approach. If you happen to have cables that are XLR only, of course you'd need some kind of an adapter, but hey, there you go. Of course, RCA connectors for right and left, and USB, optical, and coax coming in. It has 12-volt trigger in. It has aux out, so that if you wanted to send the output of this to something else, that works just fine, which basically means this acts like a DAC preamp. So that's something I could test. I could test taking the output of this to a separate amplifier, which is something I might just do. You'll notice for power, it'll take anywhere from 24 to 48 volts. I suspect the supply that comes with it is probably 24, but I will take a closer look in a sec. Speaker connectors back here are binding posts. A little bit better spacing than on some units that I've seen like this. So we'll see how easy it is to get all of my cables on there, but for the most part, it looks like it'll work just fine. So there you go. In terms of the side of the unit, you'll see that there are some heat sinks inside and some vents on the bottom. So you can get a little bit of airflow coming in. So should be an interesting unit. Let's see what's in the other box here. a switch mode supply, and we do. Now there is a switch mode power brick, and this is quite hefty. What does it say here? It says, I'm not sure if you can read that or not, it is actually 48 volts. Much higher than I expected. I thought it was going to be 24 or perhaps 36. This is a full 48 volt supply, 5 amps. So the output of this is going to be quite impressive. In terms of output of the power supply itself, it's maximum 240 watts, which would be 120 watts a channel. I really doubt that we get that much out of it, but that's not the purpose of this, to really push it hard. Interestingly enough, this adapter uses GAN FETs. It is a GAN adapter, which is surprising for a unit of this price. So there you go. And in this case, it is North America, so 2-prong, but of course, if it were somewhere else in the world, they would just give you a different cable to make that work. Now, what am I going to compare it to? Let's take a look at some of the stuff out of the way. So this is what we're going to be comparing in terms of our main unit, but what do we want to compare it against? Well, I did mention that I have used Aiyima products. I specifically have, believe it or not, 6 of these amplifiers. These are the A07 Max. And what I use it for is actually my home theater system. I have a processor that does not have an amplifier built in, so I built a little box with 6 of these guys inside with a couple of larger power supplies, and I use that to power all the speakers in my home theater. So I'm going to be comparing the A80 to the A07 Max and see how they sound. I might even take the A07 and use it as a power amp using the auxiliary output. That would be kind of a fun thing to do. What else have I got here to compare it? Well, I have an SMSL QS Pro, and this is probably about 10 years old now, and to be honest, I've never much liked it, but because it is basically the same kind of product. It has it's a DAC, it's got a preamp, and it's got an amplifier in it. So I thought, you know what, let's just compare and see how much the world has improved in 10 years. So that should be an interesting comparison. This device has a DAC built in, but it also has audio input. So I don't have to use the DAC in this device as the only input. I can have a separate input. So I may just try using this purely as an amplifier, again, comparing it to the A07 Max, so I could just see how it does as pure amplifier. And what would I use? Well, of course, I'd need some kind of DAC. I do have the FIO K11 R2R, which if you add the cost of the FIO plus the cost of the Aiyima A07 Max, you'd get roughly the cost of the A80. So I thought that would be a somewhat fair comparison. But note, of course, that the FIO is an R2R DAC. I don't know if that's exceedingly fair. So as an alternative, I could try the FIO KA13. It's a little dongle DAC, and perhaps it would be a better comparison. So I'll try throwing that on, and if I don't like that one, I might throw on the Protocol Max portable jack amp and use that one instead. So I'm looking forward to comparing all kinds of combinations. We'll decide a little bit later how that's going to happen, but thank you to Aiyima for sending this. I'm very much looking forward to playing with it. Have yourselves a great day, all. And of course, if you're enjoying what I'm doing here, I always appreciate it when you like and subscribe, and that way you get to hear all the new stuff coming out. Have yourselves a great day.